Hey YouTube, it's me, Cece again. Sorry that last video was so dark. Like I said, I am sitting in my car and it is 3:46 in the morning. I am getting ready to clock in for work. Needless to say, I guess I won't have a hard time waking up during basic because I'm so used to being at work at 4 o'clock, but only 3 days a week because of how long of a day that I work. But anywho, I'm going to tell you about my first step when, I made the decision to join the Army and what happened. Well, excuse me, not the Army, the military, specifically Air Force. So talked it over with my, at the time, fiance, and we discussed it and, kind of got him on board about it. He wasn't on board at first, but, we discussed it. I got in touch with a recruiter. I emailed him. He sent me a questionnaire to see if I qualify, which basically asked me, my age, a little bit about my medical history, about did I have any credit issues or collection issues, if I had any children, things of that nature. I think it was about 10 or 12 questions. I sent that back to him and he basically emailed me right back and was like, yeah, I do not qualify because I have a kid and I am not married. At the time, my marital status was single. So we've already planned before then to get married because I was already talking to a couple of people specifically in the Air Force, and then I have friends that are in different branches of the military, so I already knew that coming in. So I expressed to him, I said, I'm already in the process of getting married. Like, I know that I need to do this in order to join, but I want to know what else do I need to get together before I come to you. And he said that would be the only thing that would disqualify me at that time. So I then asked him, is it possible to come in and meet with you so I can ask you further detailed questions, just stuff that I had, questions that I had about the actual military, and benefits and things of that nature. And he said he agreed. So I made an appointment to go meet with him. When I did meet with him, one thing, I got lost before I went there, but when I finally got to his office, it was kind of like, yeah, like he really didn't want to talk to me just because of, like I said, at the time, my marital status. And I kept expressing to him that, I am serious about this. I am going to get married. I need to know, my timeline, because once again, I am 27. I know you have to be in basic before you're 28. I want to know if this is doable, if it's not doable, and I do want to go active. And he said, he had me fill out that same questionnaire again with the whole name, age, marital status, medical issues, children, credit issues, school. It was kind of like, why would joining the military be good for you? What do you benefit from it? Stuff like that. Like I said, it was about 10 to 12 questions. Again, I filled that paper out and I said, okay. He was like, yeah, you're not married. All right, we've already expressed this through email, over the phone. I know that I'm not married. I know that I have a child and I am not married. So he said, once you do that, he was like, then we could begin the paper process. So I asked him all the questions that I wanted to ask, but like I said, it was real short, and I really think it was just because of my marital status, and it's kind of like, yeah, I don't want to waste time with you because right now I can't do anything with you. But yeah, so fast forward a little bit, me and my now husband got married. I set up an appointment to come back with and meet with him. Now that I'm married, it's I go back to him. He gives me that same questionnaire again, once again asking me the same questions. He was like, did I give this to you before? I'm like, Yes, you did. He had me take the practice ASVAB. Excuse me, he had me take that the very first time that I met with him, and I think I scored like a 51 or something like that, like just above, I guess, the minimum qualification is now, I guess. So he was like, yeah, you got a little bit of studying to do, but you did okay, you know, for your first time. So so where am I at now? Going to meet with him after I was married. I fill out that questionnaire for the third time. One was online. Second one was when I went to go talk with him after our online conversation, and then now it's third time. So then he looks at the fact that I said yes, that I do have things in collections and credit issue, you know, things in collections just from years ago. And he's like, what type of things are on there? I'm not going to go into detail about it, but it was just like small things. Some things I just completely forgot about. It was like one thing that was on there for like $30. But I said, okay. He was like, yeah, you can't join the Air Force or military with having things in collections. That was one thing I did not know about, people, okay? But he said you would either have to, you know, pay these off, or, you know, make like one large sum payment, stating, you know, that you're going to pay this back. Like, they need to see that I'm not just going to let it sit there and keep it in collections. So I'm thinking to myself, like, if I can't go on, why didn't you tell me this the first two times that I filled out this paperwork and I said yes to having things in collections the first two times? It's like you wait till I get married, and then now it's another hurdle that I have to go over, and I'm already on a time restraint. So needless to say, I end up consolidating two of the accounts that were on my credit, which really wasn't that much, but I just didn't have the money at the time, just because I literally just got married. So it's kind of like all my money was exhausted, you know, for the actual wedding, because we got married within 2 months. So and like a couple of things that was paid off years ago, which was my fault because I didn't keep up with my actual, you know, credit score and everything like that. But so that worked out for me. So two of the 5 accounts that I had on my credit that was in collections is what I just have to work on paying off. And like I said, I consolidated those now. You know, I gave him that information stating that, all right, these accounts are consolidated. These accounts was paid for prior, so they're no longer on my credit as in collections. Either some of them were paid, some of them were just wiped off just because it was paid so many years prior. So the, I don't know, creditor just took it off my account. Where am I at now? Sorry guys, I'm looking at the time because I have to go into work in a few minutes. But also I needed medical records. Like I said, I do have a son, but I had a C-section. So even though he said it was like a normal, you know, delivery process, you know, make sure you get medical records for, just in case they ask at MEPS and, you know, the doctors try to disqualify you for like the littlest things. So just to assure them that everything went normal, there was no abnormalities of any sort. So I went and got the medical records before I took my ASVAB. I sent that to him. Anything I received about any account that was on my credit, you know, stating that this was paid, I faxed over to him. Then I was like, well, in the meantime, is it possible for me to take my ASVAB? Which it's not like he offer like, okay, well, let's get you to take the ASVAB now, and, you know, if everything works out, you know, with the credit thing, which it should, because like I said, I only had 2 things in collections after this whole process, but those 2 are consolidated now. But I had to ask to take the ASVAB, like, okay, while I'm waiting, is it possible to take the ASVAB? And he was like, yeah, you can take the ASVAB, but you can't take the physical until, you know, all waivers and everything is signed and completed and everything like that. So now, like I said, I'm in a process